All right. So good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, wherever you are. My name is Bridget Boakye. I am a data scientist, entrepreneur, author. I'm really passionate about leadership. So today I decided to get a good friend on the phone. Well, we're on Zoom actually, to talk about some of the conversations that we always have. Um, and we think needs to be out there, need to get, more people thinking about this subject and all of that good stuff. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce my good friend, Jason. Jason, should I tell them you're
Hey,
my ex too?
this is funny. This is funny. Go ahead, zero.
Okay. No, we're good friends. We're good friends, and so I'm really happy that we're at this point in our relationship where we can keep thinking about deep stuff, and having conversations about it. So, can you introduce yourself? Tell my people a little bit about what you do, what you care about, all of that good stuff.
My name is Jason Henry. Currently, right now, a real estate agent. Uh, you know, my main focus as it is right now is community development. And empowering people to continue to push forward. Entrepreneurship is something that I'm passionate about, and helping people understand that they can get on these roads too, and do what is it that they're passionate about. They don't have to necessarily box themselves in and follow one particular path. You can get on your own personal path and create your own.
So let me start it off here. I want you to tell people a little bit about like how you got into real estate, because you're already talking about following a different path. Do you think you've done that, and how did you get into real estate?
Real estate for me was something I was very, very passionate about, from years now. For some reason, I don't know why and how, I kind of just fall upon real estate. I think it's because my father was into construction.
Mm,
And for me, I think it was more so always I'm very competitive.
mm,
And my father, being a contractor, um, kind of led me to say, you know what, I have to find another way to outdo him, and possibly make a little bit more money than him. So, you know, I said, you know what,
I
okay,
didn't know that.
and I, yeah, yeah. So and that was kind of part of the reason. And then just being independent and be able to create your own income.
Right.
I saw that when I left college back in 2013.
So why do you think real estate is like, before we get into talking about, self and leadership, I want us to talk a little bit more about your career. Like, why do you think real estate is like the path to, wealth creation?
It's proven.
Mm,
It's proven.
mm,
Um, you know, it's funny because I give you a prime example. In 2009, my family bought a house, right? And they bought this house. Let's say they bought it for around $500,000,
mm-hmm,
and that same house today is worth over $750,000. And
mm,
they did nothing besides from just buying the house, not knowing what they were getting themselves into.
mm, mm-hmm,
And if they were to sell that house, they're walking away right now with well over 400 and something $1,000.
mm,
So it's just a proven system.
mm, And so, all right. So I want us to jump into like kind of what I hope these conversations will be about, which is about like leadership and self-development. So I actually decided to start this conversation or this series because you and I seem to always talk about the same thing. We always talk about the same principles, and I felt like
Same thing.
yeah, we're preaching to the choir because we're telling each other the things we already know, right? Why don't we get it out
Right.
to people who don't know this stuff yet? Um, so I don't even know how to get into this, but like, where did we leave off the last time where we were talking about it on the phone?
Man, we were so deep into that conversation.
Right.
Where did we leave off at? And it's just, it's funny, but it's just, You know, where did we leave off at?
I thought you were gonna say something other than ask the same question. So let's start off with this then. Like, what is your belief about what people need at this time, right? Like, what do people need to understand? What do people need to be doing, especially given the current circumstances that we find ourselves in?
Right. So let's talk about Corona, if we wish. Right.
Okay. Okay.
One thing I've noticed is that you know, people are going crazy everywhere, and everybody's reacting now to the virus or the situation at hand. I'm not saying not to react, but I think individuals are reacting the way that they would normally react to any situation.
Mm,
I think, you know, everybody's looking for headlines. Everybody's looking for the next hot topic, and you know, but not enough people are actually focusing on, you know, I need to focus and and create an opportunity that's gonna actually, you know, make some type of money, or, you know, some type of opportunity. I think people are just reacting just to react, you
mm,
know, just because that's what everybody else is doing.
right.
I think in a situation at a time like this is a prime example for you to really just focus in and hound in and start to make money.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? There's this saying that says, every crisis creates a new leader.
mm,
You know, so it's an opportunity for someone to
mm,
step up and say, you know what, everybody's going crazy, but I'm not going to go crazy. Why?
mm,
Because, you know, at this time we need more leaders.
mm.
You know what I'm saying? People to come around and just stabilize and control, or, you know, be level-headed
Right.
and let everybody know, you know what, it's okay. It's okay. This too shall pass.
Right.
And we don't have enough of that.
Right. And
You
what do you,
know,
but you know what my question is going to be? It's like, how are you leading then? Like, yeah, we all know we need leaders, but what are you doing in that space?
um, I honestly, you know, for the people that are around me, you know, I'm constantly preaching, right? I'm constantly trying to get them on board.
Mm,
Um, and I think stuff like this that we're doing now,
mm,
you know, helps. You know
mm,
what I'm saying? Because it's a voice that people just needs to hear.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? So, so to your point, you know, more of this needs to happen.
mm,
And yeah, and you know, me being me, obviously, always looking for another opportunity, and, you know, try to see where I can fit in, not necessarily just fit in, but, you know, create an opportunity for myself and those that surround me.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So I have two questions following up with that, right? Like, my thing is, these days, you know, if I post something about like, excuse me, if I post something about, let's say I just organized a virtual conference, even before people were doing that on a large scale, right? I was like, yo, everything is canceling.
That is dope.
Yeah, this was the beginning of March. Everything is canceling. Let's do a virtual conference. Funny enough, I got on a call with someone like back in Ghana, and he was like, "Yo, what are you really trying to do? Like, you know, what do you want to be like? What did he say? The Rosa Parks? Like, he was just listing off people who've done significant things in history. So my thing is like, yeah, we're saying we need leaders, but then at the same time, you have people, when you try to lead, they try to bring you down. Like, how do you deal with that? How do you deal with people feeling like, one, either you're not, you know, you're not where you need to be to speak on certain things, or you don't have enough money to kind of lead. You know, like, we're in the generation where like millennials, maybe you're in your late 20s, mid 20s.
Here's what I say to that.
Yeah.
Um, I think a part of our conversation last time was people are looking for instant gratification,
Mm,
and it's none of that. It's none of this is going to happen in an instant. You being the leader, you know what I'm saying. To get to where you are now, you went through a lot of crap.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying, and we're not out of the woods yet.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So we just got to continue. I think, you know, based on, you know, how things are going, eventually more and more people is going to come on board. You
Mm,
started early.
mm.
You know what I'm saying? You started early. You starting early, so you just got to continue to go. It's still early in the process. I think more and more people is going to look to your leadership later on.
Yeah, but it's not about me. I'm just thinking about like people who feel like, oh, I don't have enough credibility. You know, maybe I don't have an MBA to speak on business. I don't have, if I want to be an investor, I don't have money to kind of speak on that topic. How do you wrestle with that? Like, society kind of pressuring you to have certain credentials to do certain things, and you feeling the impetus to lead. Yeah, I may not have X, Y, and Z, but I feel the impetus to lead, so that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So now you're doing the groundwork. You're not. Nobody start with that, but you have
Nobody
to
starts
see it
with
with having all the accolades that comes with, being that number one leader or number one speaker or whatever the case may be. I can speak for myself too. You know what I'm saying? Me trying to put together real estate events, I've always told you I want to accomplish certain things in real estate before I have to, having to get there,
right.
or having to be able to do these events. But, part of our conversation usually is that, we don't always have to have these things, you know? So, but I also do think that, especially for yourself, you definitely don't have to necessarily have all the accolades that comes with being a number one leader. You just have to kind of just start and keep it going. Just keep pushing, because people are going to get on board with that eventually, if that makes sense.
What I hear you saying is like the accolades come through the process.
Through the process. It's through the process. And eventually when you do get there, you know what I'm saying, you've already mastered everything. You know what I'm saying? You're truly a master. And everybody has to do the time. And like we talked about, everybody has to get on this road. You know what I'm saying? On their own path to success. Everybody has to get on this road. It's no one road that leads to success. You know what I'm saying? So, and you have to get on that road. You're going to fail, and you're going to meet some bumps. You're going to have to go through some hurdles, but you got to get on that road, period.
Right. So I think we're about time. We wanted to keep it like 15, 20 minutes. So let's talk about this road then, like this journey. Can you speak a little bit about that? What is the journey that you're talking about?
It's a spiritual journey. It's one of the it's a spiritual journey to where you humble yourself, you're by yourself, you're praying and you asking God to show you the way. It's no one can get interfere with that road. You really have to just get on that road personally yourself and try to and listen to God. If that makes sense. That road truly comes from God. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can necessarily show you that way or help you along that journey. You have to get on that road yourself.
Right.
And when you get on that road yourself, you develop faith and everything, courage, everything. And that's when you learn all the principles that you're going to need to succeed.
Dope. So, Jason, give me 1 second. I'm going to pause it. I'll be right back. I have to get my door. Hold on. Zoom. Okay, so the last thing we talked about, Jason, you were saying that, is this road of the road you're referring to as a spiritual journey of getting to know yourself, and that takes humbling yourself, right?
Right.
And being able to submit yourself to the process of like the challenges, the bumps, the hurdles, all of that. How do you think that going through that journey relates to success, quote unquote? Like, because for me, if that journey isn't going to help me to be successful, whatever that means for me, it may not be worth taking. So for you, is that journey related to how you believe success plays out?
So it's all up to the individual and what success looks like for that person. I think on this road, you'll find happiness. I can tell you that. You know what I'm saying? And that's big. I think if you can get on any path and you're able to be happy with the results, or be happy with yourself, or be happy, I think that's the number one thing. And if you want success, and then, success brings happiness, period. And if you're not happy with your success, I don't know if that's truly success. So getting on that road, I think that's the number one thing that you're going to get from this.
Dope, 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 dope. So we're gonna end it off here. I jotted down some notes about things you said that really kind of stood out to me. The first one was when we were talking about like leadership, and you said every crisis creates opportunities for leadership. Or you said there's a quote that says every crisis creates a new leader, right? So you're telling people this is the time to kind of like, this is the time rather than panicking. This is the time to lead.
To
And
focus in.
yeah, lean in.
Lean in, like you say, man.
And then the next one you said was like accolades come through the process. I think that's dope. Is there anything else you want to add for like for people who potentially see this at this time? Anything?
I do want to say, I'll give you an example. Let's say, I've been using this for the last couple, because I've noticed a lot of people just panicking. Let's say I was an orange or an apple or whatever the case may be. If you squeeze me, then orange juice is going to come out. Right? The world is under pressure. Everybody's getting squeezed.
Ooh.
And people are just reacting. People are just reacting. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Everybody's not reacting like that. I think people are just reacting based on their cloth, the way they were built, and things like that. See what I'm saying? So, and that's just what it is. So people just have to get with themselves.
So that what comes out is good stuff.
Exactly. And whatever is coming out is just the way you would react to any situation. And again, for good stuff to come out in a given situation, you kind of have to get on that road that we're talking about. You have to, start developing your mental toughness, because a lot of it is mental toughness. People are mentally weak. You see what I'm saying? So,
yeah. What I really like about speaking with you is like you will say something that I think we all know is true, but you're able to put it in analogies that make sense. Like, where did you get that orange thing from?
Just work.
Nah, your analogies are really good, man. It's really good. You just said something that I was trying to write down that I just forgot. Oh, people need to develop mental toughness. I think that's key. And if there's anyone I know who knows how to do that for people or help people do that, I think that's you.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay, so I will definitely, like, when I put this up, I'll share with people how to find you. Again, like right now, I know you're in real estate, you're a real estate agent, an investor, but I think long term, what I really see for you is also adding to that, being a thought leader and a motivational speaker, like getting people to develop that mental toughness, getting people to, really key in on themselves so that when these situations come up, which we know we're going to continue to face, they don't fold.
Absolutely, I agree.
All righty. Thanks so much for spending time with me, Jason.
Thank you so much for having me.
All righty. Bye.
All right, talk to you soon.
All right. Bye.
Bye.